Alright, so something just happened. Major disaster, a terrorist attack, whatever it is. And you have to go out on foot. You pull your EDC bag out of your vehicle. You got your get home bag. And it's getting dark. It's getting cold. You need to get off the beaten path and you need to get into the woods. And you need to start a fire. So you got your magnesium block and your ferro rod. That's what we're going to do today. We are going to simulate having to start a fire in the woods with your get home bag and your equipment. So we're going to take off into the woods and start a fire. Let's go. We're going to collect some stuff to start our fire. When you're out here looking, this kind of stuff works extremely well. You got a lot of pine cones. Pine cones burn super hot. And then you got some dry branches and stuff. So we're going to grab a few of these. We're going to cut some of these limbs off. We got some stuff right here. That'll work. I'll grab some of these. And some of these. So that right there is some great stuff to start a fire. And then you can collect some other sticks and branches and stuff. So we'll get that. And then we're going to get some dried pine needles. Pine needles are one of the best fire starters you can get. If you live in an area that has like loblolly pine or like a southern yellow pine where you got long needles, those things, they burn hot and they burn quick, so they're hard to beat. Alright, let's go find some pine needles. So let's say we had to dodge off in the woods somewhere and start a fire. We got our get home bag or our bug out bag, and we got our fire starting stuff, right? We got our ferro rod and our magnesium block. So I use this 2x4 because I had it laying around, but you can use a chunk of wood, an old log, pretty much anything that's kind of dry will work. And you're gonna need your knife. So the first thing is gonna be shaving some of this magnesium off with your knife. So you're gonna use the back side of your knife, kind of like a sharp edge of the back side of your knife, and you're gonna scrape this magnesium block and shred some of this magnesium off in curls. It'll all kind of build up. So we also dug a divot out in our piece of wood with our knife. Dig a little divot, that way you have a place to trap all of your magnesium. Working on filling up that divot. You can see how it all is getting captured inside my little divot. Right there. Alright. So now that we got our magnesium funneled into this little divot, next thing I want to do, so the pine needles that we went and collected, you're going to take these and you're going to roll them into a ball, kind of like what you can see there. You take them, kind of curl up, kind of push them around, and start rolling them like a nest. You want them to nest up and ball up like that. They burn better. So make a few balls like that, and then keep some loose pine needles as well. Pine needles like that burn really hot, so we'll keep some loose pine needles, and we're going to keep these ready so we can start this thing once we get some sparks in here. There we go. Okay, so we got our fire started. So now we're going to burn our pine needles. Let's pull our ferro rod and our knife out of there. Okay, and we're going to start burning some of our pine cones that we captured. We went out, collected some branches that had cones, which are perfect. It don't get any better than that. And you just start building your fire up from there. That's pretty much all there is to it. So now you're just going to break your sticks down and keep adding to your fire. Your pine cones will burn. They'll probably burn quite a bit longer than even some of the sticks will, creating some good embers, and then it'll just keep your fire going. So now you can continue to build your fire up as big as you need it. You can cook over it, boil your water, whatever you need to do. Use it to stay warm. That's pretty much all there is to it. So the magnesium burns extremely hot, and once the spark hits it, it usually catches pretty well. But I do prefer the separate ferro rod over the ferro rod that's on the backside of the magnesium block, just because they're usually easier to strike. Now, I will use these sometimes, but I prefer separate ferro rod. So we'll put some links in the description. We'll have that down below so you can click on these, and yeah, they're fairly inexpensive. If your fire starts to smolder down a little bit, that's okay. You got a lot of hot embers in there. You just got to get those sticks on fire pretty good. A few more pine cones will help too. Just blow on those hot embers and get that thing going again. Sometimes the wood starts out a little damp, so it'll have to dry out as it burns. So there you have it. That's how you start a small campfire with magnesium block, ferro rod, and your little saw, which is all stuff you're going to keep inside your pack. I got my my EDC bag with me, or my get home bag, and I keep all this stuff in there. So pretty much survive anything with that. You got your fire starter. You keep something to be able to boil water, like a small titanium or stainless steel cup, and I mean, you could cook over this. If you had to hunt for some food and cook, you could. You could stay warm, keep a fire going low by your emergency tent. I mean, we could camp out back here nice and cozy. This is putting off some heat already, and it's small. Build up a good, get a good floor of embers in this, and get it built up, and it'll put off heat for a long time, especially once you start burning bigger stuff. You get some bigger logs in this, you get a good ember coal bed going. You could have this right at the foot of your tent, you know, a couple feet away, and it'd be pulling heat through your tent, so it'd keep you nice and warm. So I hope this helped somebody. This helped you. Leave a comment below if you have anything to add. Throw something in the comments. Stay safe, stay prepping.
Thanks for watching. If this is the kind of thinking that speaks to you, hit subscribe. I'll be covering gear, prepping systems, homestead tactics, and off-grid survival. Don't get caught off guard. Let's get ready together.